I'm gonna tell you something mind-breaking, but believe it or not, we do not understand men and how they work.
You must unlearn what you have learned.
What's going on, YouTube? It's your boy Rome back with another video. If you're new to the platform, welcome to the tribe. By the end of this video, I hope you subscribe. So we got a young lady here who is frustrated because she does not understand how men work. Yeah, guys, I know. We're so simple that we're complicated, the women, because women are so complex, right? Anyway, without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into it.
And that is literally the one reason why a lot of us hate men. A lot of us meaning like just humans. I did my own research. I humbled myself yesterday. I used to dislike men for the way they are. I used to just think that, they, you know? But after you learn about how they work biologically, you will learn that females or humans bathe in estrogen since the womb. Physically cannot fathom how a man functions. And because, yes, we're a little bit smarter, we feel so entitled and we think that we're right all the time. Because we cannot fathom the way that they function and we cannot physically make sense of why they think the way that we do, we just think that we're dumb and we think that it's okay to speak for them on that, on how smart they are. But the whole thing about hating men is about not understanding how hormones work. We don't just come out the womb and be like, oh my god, I choose my personality, I choose to be this way. No. We are animals. We are built to be a certain way. We are built to fulfill roles in life to survive out in nature. So estrogen people have an instinctual role, an instinctual desire, and your hormones also dictate how you think and how you function and what if-then statements you work in. Same with testosterone people. But we compute in such different kind of statements that we just clash and we can't understand each other. Neither of us can change, and neither of us can biologically understand each other right away. It absolutely requires every single person to learn about hormones and how they affect your thoughts, your soul, your personality, your desires, and your instinctual habits. Otherwise, we'll have shit happening like, oh, men will always be dumb. Men are this kind of image, blah blah blah, and women are this kind of image. Women are always that, blah blah blah. No, well, I mean, to an extent, yes, because we're built that way. But it's not about trying to change each other. It's about how we can work around each other with the way that we are built to be. So the last thing I'm going to say about this is that if you have a relationship with a man or anyone that was born with a lot of testosterone and they're really quiet or they only talk a lot around their friends, first of all, that means they're not comfortable around you. They don't feel safe around you. They don't feel heard. They don't feel seen. Because they know that you'll just shoot them down, or they've had experience in the past where they've just been shot down. Anyway, if you have someone like that, listen to them and stop interrupting them if you're interrupting them, because it literally takes them time to think about how they feel and learn about how they feel. So when you ask them a question, they're not going to know right away. They're not going to know the actual answer. They'll just give you the surface, the tip of the iceberg, and then they'll get to the point. Because they think by speaking instead of think before speaking. And that's totally fucking fine. We shouldn't criticize for the way that they're built to think. We shouldn't be trying to change them for the way that they are built to think. When you allow something to naturally express itself, it will express itself in its fullest form, in its best way that it can. But don't get me wrong, there are a lot of bad men, and they typically do the craziest shit, but that's people. That's everyone. The only reason why studies shows men act out more often is because we treat them like shit often.
She must be one of those women that uses pronouns, because you notice how she kept saying human beings and people born with estrogen and testosterone. Yeah, she must be one of them. And there was a part that she mentioned when she said we need to understand each other so that way we can work around each other. I would argue we need to understand each other so that way we can work with each other, because we are built to complement one another. And that last part kind of caught me off guard. She may have a point with that one. Men acting out more because they get treated like shit a lot more. Maybe some truth to that. Let's keep it moving.
Recently, I've been really trying to get into men's mental health. Specifically men's mental health, because I think it's such a complex thing. And this happened a couple weeks ago when I was posting about it on my Instagram story. I basically was just saying, like, women are never going to understand what it's like to feel like our feelings shouldn't be voiced. And that we have this, like, societal expectation to be this manly, have it all together, have it all figured out type of person, you know? Because I think that it's extremely important for men to be men. And I've said this the entire time on TikTok. Fuck that feminist shit. And I know there's gonna be a lot of ladies that are mad at me for saying that, because the vile things that I read after I made one post for men in support of them, encouraging them, and saying that we as women are never going to fully understand, no matter how hard we try, what it would be like to be in that position as a man and to have these expectations of you all the time. Yes, ladies, we do have our own set of things. Don't get me wrong. But I can sit up here for 5 years and make nothing but supportive posts for women, and I make one post on my Instagram story for men. And the things that I read were absolutely disgusting. So then I started doing more research. I really wanted to look into just like men's mental health quotes. So I Googled it. And honestly, there was not very encouraging stuff on there. If anything, I saw more posts about toxic masculinity when I was searching for the exact opposite of that. And then it brings up a whole list of women empowerment things. So let's say a man wants to go feel better, so he just wants to look up some positive quotes about it. It's nearly impossible to find a few good ones. So then I looked up, why does my husband yell at me? And there is a DV hotline immediately, top of the page. You look up, why does my wife yell at me? And it starts going on and on about like how hormones and whatever, and like maybe do something, like we get traumatized, whatever. It's like feeding into it. Two completely different scenarios. Men's DV is not recognized as heavily as women by any means. Those are just two examples of some of the things that I found completely on my own. So I just wanted to make this post for men. If you struggle with your mental health, if you feel a societal expectation that you have to be a specific way, it is okay to not have to be tough all the time. It is okay to feel your feelings. It's what makes you human. And it's also okay to talk about those things. There are people that want to be there to support you, and there are women that are not all bad and all think this way. Because yes, when I made these posts, there was a lot of hate from women, and that's despicable. But there was so much more love and in support of this, and women really supporting me for making these posts that agreed with me. So they are out there, and I am sorry that this was not something that I recognized sooner. I think it is an extremely important topic, and I think more women need to start talking about this and recognizing it, because I was absolutely floored by the things that I saw and some of the guys that I've talked to and their experiences. So men, I think you are tough either way. I can't imagine the pressure that you feel, and I think that you guys hold one of the most important purposes ever. Please continue to protect women. Please continue to be good men. And you know I fucking love you.
I want to bring this to your attention, guys, because I found this just as disgusting as she said. Check this out. So she posts, I can talk about supporting women for 4 years and hear nothing but positivity. I make one post supporting men, and this is what happens. So she gets a response saying the pick me energy is insane here. Women wake up, or women wake up to men unaliving, um, graping, and abusing us. But no, it's feminism and not male violence. What an absolute joke. Take. Hope you get that male validation you clearly, desperately crave and need. And see, and this is one of those extreme women that take what a very, very small portion of men are responsible for and then puts it on all men and then project that onto other women who speak positive of men. Just because these women have enough common sense to know that the type of men that you're talking about are not most men, not even majority. So, and trust me, that woman ain't gonna have no problem getting picked just off of the way she speaks and the way she looks alone. So, something tells me you wouldn't be able to match that based on how you reacting to her post. But anyway, let's keep it moving.
A lot of problem women have from the time y'all hormones start to rub together and you notice boys. You start to build the ideal of what type of man you like, love, adore, and want to be with. The problem with that is when you built this motherfucker, you didn't build him with no flaws. Well, every man you meet gonna have flaws, but not the man in your head. You chasing something that don't fucking exist. Matter of fact, the man in your head don't even call you out on your bullshit. You didn't build him that way in your head that he gonna call me out and hold me accountable. That is the fucking problem.
Game. Have y'all ever seen women say what they would do if they were men for a day, and then you realize that women have the most unrealistic expectations of what it's like to actually be a man? Ladies, I'm here to tell y'all right now that if y'all were men for a day, most of y'all would check out of this hotel that we call life. Because, nigga, this shit is hard as fuck. Every time I see women talk about the things that they would do if they were men, the first thing I always see is, I would fuck a whole bunch of hoes. And that's how I know that y'all have no clue what it's like to be a man, because what makes y'all think that every man just gets a lot of hoes? If you were a man for a day, you'd be invisible to most of those hoes. So I don't know where y'all be getting that from. Like, yo, you know how you be hearing girls say stuff like, oh, I love when I go to the grocery store and nobody hollers at me. If you were a man, that's just a normal day for us. Nah, for real though, because a lot of girls don't even shoot their shot because they're scared of rejection. And that's something we got to face on a daily basis. Another thing that be getting me is y'all be like, yo, if I was a man for a day, I'm going to have to see what pussy feel like. Shit, good luck getting it. You know the pussy that you gonna be fucking? This right here. Y'all women seem to think that it's just so easy to get pussy. Like, there's a certain percentage of men that can get pussy easily. For most men, they're not getting that shit. And another thing, do you not realize the shit that we gotta put up with just to get pussy? Most of y'all are not gonna do that.
Yeah, he is right about that, man, because I've always heard women say that that's the first thing that they want to do is smash some females, but they be saying that as if like it's easy. But I think the reason why, and that's part of the reason why I played the clip prior to that one, is because they're typically going off of the type of man that they've built in their head, or the type of man that they think most women would find attractive. Yeah, for him it's going to be easy, and that's because y'all make it easy for those type of men. But most of y'all would check out, just like he said, because most of y'all are going to be invisible to most women. And if you think I'm lying, I don't know if y'all remember, but I did a video about this woman, I want to say maybe about a year and a half, 2 years ago, of the lesbian woman that pretended to be a man for a while. And then when she realized how hard it was, she ended up offing herself. And if that was the case, and if we had it so much easier than women, explain to me why come there's more men transitioning to women than women transitioning to men. Don't worry, I'll wait. Yeah, let's keep it moving.
Men are really simple creatures. If you want to keep a man, he likes respect, keep his balls drained, keep his stomach fed, and give him peace.
That was actually yes.
That was what?
That was my question for the panel. I was gonna ask what do men want? She just literally named every single thing.
The thing that makes a good man a man is that he does what he doesn't want to do. He doesn't want to work and he works anyway. He doesn't want to go to war and he fights anyway. He doesn't want to get up, he gets up anyway. That's the whole point of it. We didn't want to die in the Titanic. Guess what happened? You can't sit there as a man and say you don't feel like it. You're not allowed to not feel like it. You're supposed to do it anyway, regardless.
A man with no friends or a very small circle is a very, very secure man. Trust me. He's learned that quality matters more than quantity. He doesn't need a crowd to validate his worth. His confidence comes from within, not from the approval of others. He's not afraid to stand alone because he knows his own strength. He's selective with his energy and who he lets into his life. He's seen the fake friendships, the drama, and the gossip, and he's walked away from all of it. He's built a life that's peaceful and drama-free, and he's happier for it. He doesn't need to be surrounded by people to feel complete. He's comfortable in his own company. He knows that true friends are rare, and he'd rather have a few real ones than a bunch of fake ones. His small circle is made up of people he can truly trust, people who have proven their loyalty. He doesn't waste time on meaningless relationships. His time is precious, and he spends it wisely. He's a man who knows what he wants, and he won't settle for anything less. So if you meet a man with no friends or a very small circle, don't underestimate him. He's secure, confident, and knows his worth. He's a man who doesn't need validation from others because he's already validated himself. A man.
That's actually what I've been doing these last few days. I've been spending here in the States before I go back overseas, is just spending time with the friends in my tribe. Because I'm probably gonna be gone till this time next year. So find your tribe, fellas, and you don't need a whole lot of friends, bro. Just a few real ones. Y'all let me know what y'all thought about this. If you're new to the platform, please subscribe. OGs, I appreciate the love of support. Make sure y'all hit that bell notification. That way y'all know what I'm uploading. Hit the like button because that helps with the algorithm and helps me reach a broader audience. Also look out for the travel vlog channel, Unplugged Traveler. Link is in the description. Until the next video, y'all. Deuces.